everybody and welcome back to my channel and a happy 2021. I hope you've all had a lovely new year. Seeing as this time of year I'm always feeling very reminiscent, nostalgic, looking back on the year we've had to look forward to the next year, I thought I would do a rundown of my 2020. I watched Imagination's video on this and I absolutely loved it, so I thought, hey, I'm going to do my own, because to say it was a shit year would be an understatement. But quite a lot of eventful things did happen to me this year. I thought I would do a rundown for you. I'm probably going to do this in two videos. I'm going to split the year up, so you'll get the first half of the year in this one and then the second half of the year will be in my next video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, for now we're going to get straight on into the video. If you're looking down, it's because I've wrote 3 sides of A4 of notes, so just bear with me. There's a lot to cover. A full year to 365 days, there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, grab a drink and let's get on with my rundown of 2020. Lego. So I saw the year 2020 in my favourite club in Leeds, Revs for Cuba, with one of my besties. Out for drinks, we were in matching red outfits. I'm going to insert pictures along the way so you can as well. We had a really good night. She was my New Year's kiss, because I ain't about kissing boys. We ain't about doing that. We always kiss the best friend. It's like a mutual thing that I always do every year on New Year's. That night, there were a couple of lads that were following me and my friend Megan around. I'm going to tell you the story of this boy. Basically, we'd been speaking before and he was like, oh, I'm going to be in Leeds on New Year's. And I was like, sounds, so am I. And then he ended up stalking me to Revs. He was a catfish because he looked nothing like he did in his photos, and he was trying to get on me, and his mate was trying to get Megan, and we were both just like not having it. So we were each other's New Year's kiss, because they both went into kisses and we were like, absolutely not, like I ain't doing that. And then he ended up, we're going to give him a name, I'm going to call him Bob. So Bob started like trying to make me jealous, was dancing with the girls, but that ain't going to have an effect on me because I couldn't give a shit, like you go dancing or you want to go dance on. And then the girl that he was dancing on turned around, she was about 50, I'm not even joking, she was about 50, and then he started kissing him, bearing in mind he was 21. I was like, you go, you're not making me jealous at all, because she's 50 years old. Like, she looked good for 50, don't get me wrong, but why try and make me jealous with a 50-year-old? That's not going to work on. So that's a funny memory from that evening. But yeah, I saw the New Year in one of my favourite clubs, and that has got to be up there one of my favourite New Years I've ever had. In January, my sister passed her driving test. I was a very, very proud sibling that day. She's the first one in the family. I always said Ellie would be the first person out of the siblings to pass the driving test, so I was one proud big sister. I also remember in January we spent a lot of time at my grandma's. I always go like on a monthly basis, obviously not at the minute because of COVID, but in January I was basically there like 3 times out of the month, because I just love going to see my grandma. If you don't know, she lives in York, and it's one of my favourite memories to do, like go spend time with her. I also love York. York's basically like my third home. Leeds is like my second home, but York's basically like a home to me. Like I just love being in York, and that's where I am if I'm not home or in Leeds. On the COVID basis, in January I remembered seeing about it in like Wuhan, seeing about it on the news, and I was thinking, it's never going to come over here, it'll never ever turn into a big pandemic. How naive I was thinking. I thought, oh, it'll just stay over in China like all the other like illnesses in the past, if I was just staying in one country. I didn't think it would be able to spread as much as it did. But yeah, I was quite naive at that point. February rolled around. Now this was my last night out that I've been on since then. That was the last night out I've had. I went to Newcastle to celebrate my cousin's 20th birthday. It was such a fun night, such a memorable night. Like I can just remember like thinking we were aliens in Newcastle, because people are a lot different in Newcastle to Leeds. I noticed like the drinks are so expensive, like £19 for 2 cocktails when I can get them for like under a fiver in Leeds. I know where I'd rather be. But some of the people in this club we went to were really, really snobby, and I just thought, this isn't my atmosphere. Like I'd rather be in Leeds where everyone's really friendly. That's why I like Northerners or people from Yorkshire, because they're really friendly. We're all friendly guys. It was a really fun night. We got back to the hotel quite late. My cousin had to drive us home the next day, so that was not fun for her. And we also went in the middle of a storm. I remember it being one of the many storms that we had throughout 2020. But yeah, that was the last night I've been on. I haven't been on a night out since, so I hold that memory dear in my heart, because I do miss clubbing. Now rolling on to March, which is probably the most significant month of the year, because that is when shit hit the fan and COVID was here. We went into our first lockdown, now in lockdown number 3, We went into our first lockdown on the 23rd of March. I remember it vividly because I had gone to stay at my grandma's the week before. So I was in York the week before we went to lockdown. The day before lockdown, I actually travelled home, and that's when I heard about it all. And I was just a bit like, oh, it's fine, we're gonna have like 2 weeks off, from work, it'll be fine, I'll be back before I know it. No, hun. It was a lot longer than that. I did get a lot of stick as well, I remember, for going to York to see my grandma, but that was, I didn't know when I'd next see her after that, so I took the risk. We were both being safe. We both didn't have any symptoms. We both weren't ill. It was fine. My grandma's fine. She's not had it. Touch wood. She's not had COVID. We're all good. We're all safe. So I was safe. I wanted to go because I didn't know when the next time I would see her was. Bearing in mind it would have been a lot of months later that I would have seen her. So the memories I have from that visit were bittersweet because I didn't know when the next time I would see her would be, but I was happy to see her nonetheless. Also in March, me and my family sat and watched the news when the first plane bringing British people home from Wuhan was coming home, and we was like, watch this momentous occasion, and me and my mum remember saying, shit's gonna hit the fan now, it's gonna spread, and everyone else was like, no, it's fine, we'll put them in a like confined area for 14 days, they'll come out and they'll be fine. Boris, why didn't you shut the borders? But we can't look back on the past now, just got to focus on the future. But yeah, me and my mum remember watching the first plane from Wuhan come back and was just a bit like, oh God, it's happening. April came around and it was my sister's 18th birthday, which I had waited 4 years for her to turn 18, so since I had turned 18, so I could take her on a night out. But because we was in lockdown, I unfortunately couldn't take her. I've still not been able to take her, but you bet your ass the second the club's open, we're going out. So early April time, my mum actually had COVID, so a lot of people have always, like a lot of my friends always say to me like they've never had anyone like personally have COVID, but my mum actually did get it from work, so that was a strange time. Around this time was also when I noticed lockdown affecting my mental health. Like I was grateful because work had put me on furlough, so I felt so lucky because the amount of people that were losing their jobs and the amount of friends I have that had lost their job was a joke. Like it was really scary, so I was really grateful to still have a job. But I just felt a bit useless because like I was just stuck at home, I wasn't doing anything, I was out of my usual routine, and if you know me, you know how I like to be organised and how I like to be in a routine. So being taken out of my routine, just felt a bit lost, just got a bit down, just started overthinking life, and I was just in a bit of a hard place. And it's completely okay, as I've said all this year, it's completely okay not to be okay, and that was just one of the months I remember feeling very, very down. But I got myself out of that because the next month, May, as you know, is my birthday month, and my birthday month always makes me happy. I never ever take for granted turning another year older because it's just something that I should be proud of because I have survived another year. I know how bad it sounds, but you always should be grateful for birthdays because turning older is actually a privilege. I celebrated my 22nd birthday on FaceTime with my friends. We all had a little like cocktail party, had some drinks, did some games. It was really fun. And I just had a nice day at home. May was also the time where I started taking my TikTok seriously. I thought, seeing as I'm going to be inside all the time and I've got nothing else to do, and I love being expressive, and I kind of love like acting, dancing, just singing about, messing about basically, I thought, why not do it on TikTok? And I'm now currently nearly at 10k on TikTok, which I am very proud of. If you want to go hit my TikTok up, I'll leave it on screen for you. But yeah, I just love filming TikToks, like doing like 30-second, 60-second videos. It's just so much fun. Like I was never into like, I kind of did dub smash. I never really did musical, but TikTok's just like the thing. Like I'm just hooked. Like I just love it. That is when my TikTok career officially started. So May was the pinpoint of my self-love journey. I started posting photos in bikinis because it was hot weather, and I just didn't give a shit. Normally, before I would give a shit what people thought of me posting bikini pictures, but now I don't give now I don't care because I love my body. I don't care what people think. But yeah, this is when like my Instagram photos and my self-love journey was like at its best, and I was really happy with the way I was progressing. As you know, the self-love journey has been going on for a couple of years, and I'm happy to say I am in a good place with it, so I could not be happier. And 2020 has actually contributed a lot to that because it's made me have time to myself and realise who the F I am. The recurring thing that went on throughout 2020 was me questioning who I was. I had many ups and downs in me questioning who I was because I had all this time to myself and I didn't know what to do. Like I'd never spent that long to myself by myself. Like the last time I did that was uni, and as you know, I was very up and down all the time at uni. So that's been another thing that's happened this year. But it's for the better because I've come out of it stronger. I'm more comfortable being by myself. I never thought I'd say that. So what was meant to happen in May was I was meant to be going to see The Lion King. I got it for my birthday present, but unfortunately it's been postponed to 2022. So although that's been postponed, it's something I have to look forward to, and something that, and then the saddest thing that happened to me in 2020 happened at the end of May. I found out my rabbit Bugsy had a tumour and we had to have him put down, which was the saddest thing. I spoke about it in a vlog at the time when it happened. Basically, the vet experience was horrible because we couldn't go in to say goodbye or anything. And it's just sad losing a pet. Like, you might just say, oh, it's just a rabbit, but I had that rabbit for 10 years. I had it, it was my first pet. I had it since I was 11 years old, and I've changed a lot from 11 to 22. So it was a major loss in the family. We now no longer have any rabbits. We're not going to have rabbits again, so it was sad and upset about that. So I'm going to end part 1 here for you guys. Stay tuned for part 2, more of my review of 2020. There's a lot to come, so stick around. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye guys.